So welcome to the SANY SY18 machine walk round video. On the right hand side we've got the diesel cap. There are also some lubrication points there and the track lubrication point just behind that panel there. Coming round to the front, the machine's been Lola tested and certified for 110 kilo lift. And as such we've got check valves on the main arm and also up on the dipper arm there. Coming down there you've got the breaker quick release couplings, and then round to the hitch, which will be demonstrated later. On the front of the machine you'll see we've got the isolator switch there, which needs to be ensured that that's in the on position before starting, and if left for a period of time we recommend just turning that off. Into the cab we've got the emergency kill switch. Again, that needs to be made sure that's in the out position before starting, and the safety lever is up in the air. Over here on the dash panel we've got the immobiliser, keypad immobiliser, and then all your switch controls are up on the main panel, along with the radio, emergency brake hammer, and then behind the seat there is a little panel that folds down to access the washer bottle. Round into the rear on the engine we've got the oil filter, fuel filter separator and the coolant bottle, and then just in there is the engine oil dipstick, and then just above there you've got the heater controls for inside the cab to turn it from cool to hot. This needs to be done when the engine's off. With regard to the fuel filter or the water separator, that needs to be drained at regular intervals if you've got water in there, just by unscrewing the plastic cap underneath, and it will drain through the drain hose and come out the bottom underneath the machine. Okay, so when starting the machine, ensure that the isolator and the outside of the cab's in the on position, the kill switch is open and the arm's in the air. Switch the ignition to on. Enter the 4-digit code followed by the tick, and then turn the machine over after a couple of seconds. Okay, so that now that the machine's started, pull the safety lever down until the hydraulics are activated. You can now operate the main arm of the boom. I'm going to demonstrate how to use the breaker. It's on the right hand thumb control. Okay, so I'm now going to demonstrate how to disconnect the quick release couplings on the breaker. So switch the engine off and leave the safety lever in the down position. Operate the toggle switch, so you're now draining the hydraulic fluid out the pipes, and keep the joystick to wiggle. Lift the safety lever up. Round to the front. Now the pressure's released, that will come straight off, and then straight back in again. If you've not been using the breaker for a while, just make sure that you clean the end of the couplings off to stop any dirt and ingress. Okay, so when changing a bucket, first make sure you remove the safety pin, then pull the main pin out of the actual hitch. Quick release bar into there, lever down, the bucket will swing off, release the hitch back up, and now you can operate the machine in the same way, dropping off and picking up the next bucket. When operating the blade, you need to make sure the switch is activated onto blade, and then there's your lever to operate the blade up and down. When you want to move the tracks in and out, ensure that the track button is engaged, so it's off blade, and now you can activate the tracks as we'll demonstrate shortly. Okay, so before starting the machine, always make sure your seat belt's engaged so that the green beacon on the roof flashes. If you're doing lifting operations, we've fitted this lifting switch here so that when you're digging, the button's engaged on the digging mode, and when you need to lift something, you can engage it onto the lifting mode. Before lifting, you need to make sure the tracks are expanded out and the blade's completely down. What will happen is when you reach over 110 kilos lifting, an alarm will sound in the cab to let you know that you've reached the limit of the lift capacity of the machine. If you're digging and the alarm's going off, it's because you've not engaged the digging button to disengage the alarm. So here you've got your main controls, you've got your beacon switch, audible tracking switch, fast and low tracking, your throttle controls here, your work lights are here, and then you've got your blade or track expanding there. On the rear parcel shelf you've got your wash wipe and your radio control. On the main dash panel, the dash will flick between the hours on the machine, so it's showing 4.6, and the fuel is recorded as a percentage of 100, so that's showing 60, which means it's 60% fuel of a 20 litre tank. And then you've got your engine coolant temperature there. Washer bottle's located behind the seat, so you can fold the seat forward. On the right hand side there's a little lever down here. Push and release these two buttons. That panel folds forward and you can see your fuse box and your washer bottle. As you will see, your hitch bar is stowed there just in the footwell of the cab, and across here we have your travel lock. So at the moment you can actually swing the machine around on the slew. If you're travelling in a position on a trailer, you need to make sure that's dropped down and locked into position so that it will stop the slew ring and the cab from spinning around whilst travelling.